Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. We're headed to the world of Arrakis in this video, as we're playing Dune Imperium by Direwolf Digital. Our goal is to get up to 10 victory points, or have the most when the conflict deck runs out, trying to control the spice in the world of Arrakis. Anyway, let's go ahead and meet our adversaries. Or let's go ahead and meet who we're playing as. We are playing as Countess Ariana Thorvald. Her special ability is Spice Addict. Whenever you harvest spice, gain one less and draw a card. We're playing against Viscount Hundro Moritani, who's doing everything in blue. His signet ring is pay a spice to advance on the shipping track, and the Automas will always cash out at 2. Then we've got Count Ilban Richesi. For House Richesi, his signet ring is to gain a Solari. Then we've got our 5 reserve cards in the Imperium row. First up, we've got an Ixion Engineer. If we use it to deploy, we'll get a tech tile. Ooh, we might want to grab that. And if we have 3 or more tech tiles, trash it to gain a victory point. Then we've got a Smuggler's Thopter. We have to have 2 influence. We can use it to deploy to any of the triangle spaces. If we have 2 influence with a spacing guild, draw 2 cards, gain an influence and a spice on a reveal turn. Then we've got Peter de Vries, costing 5, can use him to deploy to green or blue spaces. As Michael Newsom now stops by, get an intrigue card if you use him to deploy. On a reveal turn, 3 influence into combat. An Arrakis Recruiter for 2, can use him to deploy to blue spaces, gain a troop in your garrison, which reminds me, I think we all start with, 3 troops in the garrison? They don't get any because we're going to be playing on easy mode. And we place 3 in the 4 circular garrisons. Okay. Oh yes, we were just revealing the last of the Imperium row, and we've got a Spice Trader. For the Fremen, costs 4, can use them to deploy to blue or triangle spaces. If we have 2 influence with the Fremen, what's that symbol? That's a Rise of Ix symbol. I will mention that I am using the Rise of Ix expansion. Discard a card from your hand to gain 2 spice, 2 influence, and a sword on reveal turn. So both Hundro Moritani and Ilban Richesi will be using the House Hagal deck for their actions. So we'll give this a shuffle. Need to play this a lot more. Yeah, I realized somehow it's been the end of the year and I hadn't pulled this one out yet. Decided, you know what, we're going to fix that today. Right, so we need our first conflict as well. Our first conflict is a skirmish. The prize for first place is going up in a reputation of your choice and gain 2 Solari. Anyway, I think we're all set to jump in, so let's flip over the first House Hagal card. So 0 to 1 influence, they're going to fold space, which will give Moritani an influence with a spacing guild. Then for Richesi, is going to wherever we harvest the most spice. That will be on the Great Flat, giving him 3 spice, which I will grab that for him, and I'll get my 5 cards ready to go. I also, in addition to the water I start with, I also start with a spice and a Solari for the difficulty. So we could go seeking allies right away. And let's see what to do. Let's see. Well, we're going to keep the convincing argument to the side because we'll be using that as part of our reveal turn. Do I think we're going into the conflict right away? That's a good question. I think we are going to seek allies right away, so we'll deploy to... I think we'll deploy up with the Emperor, because I do want to get some... I do want to try to get my Swordmaster as fast as I can, so I'm going to need Solari for that. But I will end up trashing the card. So we'll put that back in the red bag, since I'm doing everything in red. And Ilban Richese is doing everything in yellow. As for Moritani, he's going to Hardy Warriors. So he's going up there. He will go up with the Fremen and gain 2 troops, which he can immediately deploy into the conflict. So he's got a strength of 4. For Richese, he's going to harvest spice again. So he's going to Haga Basin, which will give him 2 more spice, and he can immediately spend... No, it's 7 spice, so he can't spend spice yet. Yep. Let's see, what am I doing is my next question. Odds are I'm probably sitting this conflict out. I think I will go to... I'll use reconnaissance? No. Let's see, green spaces all cost me to deploy to. So I think I will use reconnaissance to deploy to a blue space. I'm going to deploy to Carthage. I'll get another troop. There could be an argument to deploy into the conflict. We also did just see a 5-sword card go by the boards. That gets me a troop. That does get me an intrigue card, which will mean I lose 3 of my troops in the conflict to gain a victory point. We'll put that in the garrison. Yeah, I'll deploy into the conflict, so we'll go all in on this first conflict. Probably shouldn't, but oh well. A little late to worry about that now. And then we've got an influence turn, so I'll gain another sword in the conflict, and I've got 3 influence. Let's see, coming up here, that will get me the... That'll get me the Arrakis Recruiter for 2. And replacing that will be a Guild Ambassador for 4, which I can't ultimately pick that up. So that'll do it for the conflict. So that'll do it for my reveal turn. I don't have anything in the conflict. We'll reveal a card for Hundro. He gains no swords, so I actually win that conflict, which means I will... Okay, so I will go up a reputation, and I'll get 2 Solari. He'll get 3. So I need 5 singles on Solari. 2 for me, 3 for him, and I get to go up with a reputation of my choice. I'm going to go up with the... Who do I want to go up with? If I go up with the Emperor now, that just gives me a straight victory point right off the bat. And that could be worthwhile to get on the board early. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go up with the Emperor and get a victory point right away. All right, place a spice on the Imperial Basin. That's the maker phase. We haven't obviously triggered endgame yet. Pull everybody back. Move all of those up to 0. Okay, there we are. First player will move over to Ilban Richese. I will draw up my my next hand. Okay. And they are... Oh, we've got the Mentat in line for this one. For this conflict. Mentat, an intrigue card, and 2 Solari. Okay, Ilban Richese is our first player. He's moving to Fold Space this time, which will send him up on the Spacing Guild track. As for me... I'm going to deploy... I'm going to use my Signet Ring. I'm trying to decide where I want to deploy, though. We are going to use the Signet Ring to deploy to... I will get a water, but I can't use this water to pay for a cost, since I'm just getting it. We're going to go to... We're going to go to Arrakis, I think, which will give me a troop in the garrison. I will draw a card, so I need to shuffle the rest of my deck. Getting the Mentat could be a very good thing in this for this conflict. Especially if I'm going to be first, if I'm going to be the first player. So yeah, I'm actually going to deploy into this conflict. I'll draw a card. Okay, it's a dagger, so not great. Alright, then for Viscount, smuggling. So he's moving up, so Hundro is moving up to the smuggling space since he has 1 influence with the Spacing Guild. He'll advance on the smuggling track. Over to Ilban Richese is moving over to Conspire. So he will go up with the Emperor, and he will get 2 troops. As for me, I'm deploying my second agent. I could go to Diplomacy, and I think I will do that. So I'll deploy up to Wealth, going up there with the Emperor, and I will gain 2 more Solari. So as long as I'm able to win this conflict, and so far neither of the other players have deployed into it, I should be able to win this conflict. That'll give me the Mentat for next round. That'll also give me my Swordmaster. But let's see what the Viscount is doing. Moving over to Selective Breeding, so that'll put him up with the Bene Gesserit. Okay, on my reveal turn, I've got 3 to spend and 2 more swords. That'll bring me up to 4 swords. And I think all that's going to get me, actually, yeah, 3. That's just going to get me an Arrakis Liaison. So that's not great, but it's not nothing. Then combat, I have no reason to play a combat card. And place a spy. Okay, so I resolve the reward, which means I get another intrigue card. Okay. I also get the Mentat for the round. And 2 more Solari. That'll be enough to go up and get my Swordmaster, assuming I can deploy up to green spaces on my next turn. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Alright, then for the makers, and for the maker phase, we'll deploy our spice. I'll recall agents. Assuming they all want to stay standing. There we are. I will become first player. And we'll get a new conflict. Our new conflict is a guild bank raid for 6 Solari. Let's see, then I'll draw my hand up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 5. Okay, I can deploy up to a green space, so I will use the Signet Ring to do exactly that. That'll give me another water. And I'll use the Mentat to go up to the Swordmaster space. I'll pay my 8 Solari. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And that will give me my Swordmaster. So I basically got 2 turns of extra run on the board before they get their Swordmasters. Hopefully I can take some advantage of that. All right, as for Viscount, he's going over to Carthage. So he will deploy into the conflict. 2 for him. As for Count Ilban Richese, he's going to the Hall of Oratory, which is not a card in this, which is not a spot in this game. Still suits, however, is. So he'll go up with the Fremen. As for me, I think I've got my hand right here. Okay, convincing argument I can't use to deploy anywhere. So I will use the Arrakis Recruiter to deploy to a blue space. We'll use that to go to... we can go get Spice, which I might go to the Great Flat for that, but I'll use that to go to Arrakis, so I can start building up my forces. Okay, there's another Dune the Desert Planet. I don't hate that in the slightest. As for Viscount, going to get a Dreadnought. So he gets a Dreadnought in his garrison. That's Viscount and a Tactile. How do they pick the... I gotta remember how they pick how the rivals pick the Tactiles. Only those that are marked with a House Hagal icon in the lower right corner. If there are no face-up Tactiles with that mark on any of the stacks, trash this tile from the largest stack and reveal if multiple tiles are... Okay, so we've got 2 that he can acquire. He will acquire the training drones. As for Ilban Richese, we just went to the Dreadnought. Carthag's blocked off. Hall of Oratory is still not a space. Interstellar Shipping. They don't have 2 influence with the Spacing Guild, so we'll reveal another card. Arrakis also blocked off. Arrakis still blocked off. Arrakis is still blocked off. Secrets we can go to. Yep. And they'll go up with the Bene Gesserit. Let's see. I've still got... Oh, right. I used the Mentat for one of my deployments. So let's go with deploying to Dune the Desert Planet. We will use... We're going to spend our 2 water to go over to... We're going to spend our 2 water to go over to the Great Salt Flat. I will take 3 spice, because remember, when I harvest spice, I gain 1 fewer spice and I draw a card. So I've got 4 spice now. I've got my Arrakis Liaison in hand. I think we're going to run back the... Oop. Forgot to deploy an agent there. Let's go to... Let's go up to... Let's use Dune the Desert Planet to go up to... That'll be our last agent to go as Dave's Tabletop Gaming now stops by. We'll use that to go up to Smuggling. So I'll advance on the track. I'm not going to cash it in yet, but I will gain a Solari. And then I'm out of agents, so I've got 3 to buy with, which is going to be another Arrakis Liaison. Not much happening there. All right, then Viscount Hundro will turn over a card, find 4 more swords. Going up to 6, he will win the conflict with 6 Solari, which he will immediately spend 7 of them. So he'll spend the 6 that he gained plus the 1, and he'll do that to gain a victory point, so he's on the board with 1 victory point as well. We've got the Maker phase, so we'll put out 2 more spice. Then we'll recall agents. The Mentat goes back on that space on the board, since I only had him for the round. There's the other blue agent that's out right now. These 2 come back. And Viscount will become the new first player. And our new conflict is up a reputation and 2 intrigue cards for first place. This should have been part of that as well. So I had 2 more. So I had a total of 5 then. I forgot I had convincing arguments still in hand. So that actually kind of changes the math considerably, which I will go grab an Ixian engineer with that, since that's just acquire a tech tile. That is actually very powerful. It's spice cost. Okay, yep. Then we'll replace that with a local fence. I can spend 2 spice to gain 5 Solari, or 5 Solari to gain 4 spice if I use it to deploy with. 1, 2, 3, 4. Unfortunately, I do need a Solari to be able to go get my Dreadnought. So I might want to try to harvest some spice this turn. Fortunately, I do have a Dune of the Desert Planet in my hand, so I can. Right, that's back to 0. So now it is back to Hundro. He is looking to rally troops, which is also not a space. He's looking to harvest spice, so he goes with the most bonus spice. So he's going over to the Imperial Basin. And he can deploy into the conflict, so he will get 4 spice. That's unfortunate because that's where I had my eyes on going. So Dreadnoughts always have, I want to say, 3 strength. Yes, worth 3 strength. Alright, so blue is already in this conflict. As for yellow, also looking to harvest spice, going to Haga Basin, which will give him a total of 4 spice. So he'll keep those 2, spend this 5 to give himself a victory point. So he's on the board with that. As for me, I actually need a little more spice. And I don't have the 2 water, so that's very unfortunate. Let's see, I could spend the water to go to Hardy Warriors with diplomacy, go up with the Fremen. That would also give me 2 troops. I think we're going to do that. So we're going to spend our diplomacy to go down to... Do I want to go to Still Suits or Hardy Warriors? That's the question. Let's go to Still Suits. We'll go up with the Fremen. I will gain a water. Okay, back over to Moritani, looking to conspire. Up with the Emperor, gains 2 troops, but he can't deploy them into the conflict. As for Richese, looking at wealth, which he can go to, that will send him up with the Emperor, which will give yellow another victory point, so yellow up to 2. I still have 2 agents out. One of them is going to a yellow space. Where am I sending this agent to? Yeah, this will work. Actually, I think this will work out. I really wanted to go acquire Shuttle Fleet, so I think we're going to sit tight on that. I do have the 2 water. Actually, yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to spend my 2 water to go over to the Great Flat. That'll give me 2 spice and let me draw a card. And actually, I think this works out, because now I have enough spice to get the Shuttle Fleet that I wanted. Okay. And I do have a dagger that I can use to deploy. We'll go up to Dreadnought, so I will pay... no, actually, I don't have enough Solari to do that. Okay, so actually what I could do is... Actually, I could go up to the tech negotiation space. What that will do for me... What tech negotiation will do for me is... I know there's a space guide in here somewhere for the new spaces. It's not on there. Oh, here it is. I can either acquire at a 1 spice tech discount or send a negotiator to Ix. Also during my reveal turn, gain a persuasion. So I can either... And then that'll make it easier to either acquire a tech at a 1 spice discount. Actually, I could still acquire... Yeah, we'll do that. So we'll use a dagger to send an agent up to tech negotiation. So that'll give me an influence during the reveal turn, and it'll let me acquire a tech for a 1 spice discount. So I will spend 5 spice to obtain the shuttle fleet. So at the start of the round, I will actually get 2 Solari. Then I get to choose 2, so I get to go up with 2 factions. I will go up with the... I'm going to go up with the Emperor. That'll give me this alliance token. That'll give me a victory point. Also, it'll give me 2 more troops in my garrison. And for my second rep, I'm going to go up with the... I'm going to go up with the Fremen. That'll give me another victory point. And I've got all my agents out, so I'm done there. I have a total of 5 influence, since I do have an agent up here, which I will spend that to grab Peter de Vries. Then we'll replace that in the row. We've got a Bene Gesserit initiative. Draw a card if you use her to deploy. She can go to green, blue, or yellow spaces, and influence on a reveal turn. We also had a sword, but that's not relevant. Flipping over a card for Hundro, he gets 3 more swords, up to a total of 6. The Dreadnought will return. Then he will go up a reputation. He'll go up with the Emperor to give himself another victory point, so he's up to 2. He also gets 2 intrigue cards, which he can spend 3 of these for a victory point. All right, we don't have anything in the maker phase to worry about, so I'll recall agents. Yep. We'll flip over our new conflict card, and they will get their sword masters. Raid stockpiles. We've got spice and intrigue cards, so they get their sword masters now. Which the advantage there was nice while it lasted. And at the start of the round, we'll get to that here. Once I get the Swordmaster for Moritani secured to the base, I will get 2 Solari because of my shuttle fleet. And then we'll flip over a card for Richese. He's looking to go to tech negotiation. He's up there, so he will either, if he can acquire, he can actually acquire... Oh no, there's nothing here he can acquire, so he'll trash the artillery tile. Don't start about that, Jester. I know my days off are coming to an end. Let's see, what do I want to do here? Oop. Oh, no, I did have to draw my deck. 3, 4, 5. Okay. Let's see, what to do. I don't have any water. The Signet Ring would fix that. But, Actually, I could go over to Siege Tabor, since I do have 2 influence with the Fremen right now. And I think I will use my Signet Ring to do that. So that'll give me... So I'll use my Signet Ring to go over to Siege Tabor. That'll get me a troop in my garrison and net 2 water, because remember, my Signet Ring effect is to give me 1. And I get a troop in my garrison. The question is, do I want to be in on this conflict? And I think the answer to that is... The answer to that is yes, I do want to be in on the conflict. So I'm going to deploy everything in. That'll bring me up to a combat strength of 8. As for Moritani, he's going to selective breeding. And up with the Fremen, that'll give him another victory point, so we're tied with 3. Richese is going to fold space. That'll put him up with the Spacing Guild, and now we all have 3 victory points. I could go get my Dreadnought. I could go get a Dreadnought. Unfortunately, I don't have the spice to get a tech tile. Although I could use a Dune the Desert Planet to fix that. That would give me 2... Yeah, we'll use a Dune the Desert Planet. I'll spend my 2 water to go over to the Great Flat. So I'll use an agent to go over to the Great Flat. I'll get 2 spice out of that, and then I'll draw a card. Okay. Let's see, as for Moritani, he's looking to harvest spice, so he's going over to Haga Basin since it's got the most spice right now. So 2 more spice. Then for Richese, putting out his last agent for the turn, is going up to Carthag. He gets a troop and an intrigue card, and all of these will be in on the conflict. So he gets an intrigue card. And yellow is at 6 strength in the conflict. I'm actually going to use an Ixian engineer. I'm not going to acquire a tech tile, though. I will send an agent up to smuggling. That'll give me a Solari, and it'll let me advance on the... That'll give me a Solari and let me advance on the smuggling track. Alright, then Moritani, playing out his last agent, is going up to Highliner. That is a conflict space, so he's going to be putting everything into this conflict. So he's going to go up to a total of 13 strength. Yowza, that Dreadnought is very broken. Let's see, so that's everything for me. I have 4 influence and a sword in the conflict. I have to hope yellow doesn't draw more than 3. Or hope that they don't draw more than 2. So what do I want here for 4 influence? I think that will be the Guild Ambassador. That'll move everything over. We'll replace that with Gurney Halleck for 6 influence. Can deploy to blue spaces, gain a troop, gain 2 troops, and draw a card. If you use it during a reveal turn, 2 influence and 3 Solari. Spend 3 Solari to gain 2 troops that you can deploy those into the conflict. Alright, we're going to be flipping over cards here momentarily. I'm just getting the House Hagal deck shuffled back up. Okay. Hundro Moritani is gaining 3 swords. I have to hope yellow doesn't draw a lot of swords. That's no swords. So blue wins the conflict. He gets an intrigue card. He will actually spend all 3 of those intrigue cards to gain a victory point. And he's gaining 3 spice. He will spend that plus the 4 to gain another victory point. So blue is up to 5 victory points. I get 2 spice, though, because I was in 2nd place in the conflict. Actually, let me double check, but I think 2nd place is... 3rd place isn't available in a 3-player game. Okay. Good. So I do get the 2 spice. Right. Then we deploy, and we put out bonus spice for the maker phase. And we'll recall troops. I will become the first player, but I'll need to shuffle my deck. Let's see. Oop. Looks like we had one of the bases fall off for the agents. Let's see. The last one was at Haga Basin. So Dreadnought goes back. Troops go back to the garrisons. Now I can go get my... Assuming I can deploy to green spaces this turn, I could go get my Dreadnought and get a spaceport, which would actually be a very good tech tile. I draw 2 cards and I can put cards I acquire on top of my deck, so that could be very, very useful. But I do need to start getting my influence up with the Spacing Guild, so I can go to interstellar shipping and advance quicker on that track. One, two, three, four, five. We're putting that out, but we need a new conflict. Let's see, this one's a victory point and control of Carthag. Second place is an intrigue card and a spice. Let's look at my hand, and I can go get my Dreadnought if I want it, but I have to, well, I've got a dagger I can use. This might be one I want to get in on. Let's go with... Let's see, what do I want to do here? I'm actually going to start off by using a dagger for a green space. I'll use that to go up and get a Dreadnought. So that'll be a Dreadnought into my garrison, and I can acquire a tech. So I'll spend 5 spice to gain the aforementioned spaceport. That'll let me draw 2 cards, and I can put cards I acquire on top of my deck. So 1, 2. Okay, I don't completely hate that. Viscount is going to selective breeding, so advancing further with the Bene Gesserit. Richese is going to Carthag, gaining a troop and an intrigue card that's immediately going into the conflict. So that's an intrigue card for him. Okay. Let's see, what do I want to do here? Let's go with using a Dune the Desert planet. This seems like a conflict I really should try to get in on. So I'm going to use the Arrakis Recruiter on a blue to deploy up to Siege Tabor. That'll give me a water. That'll also give me 2 troops. In my garrison, I'm going to deploy those and my Dreadnought into the conflict. So I'm up to 7 strength in the conflict. I'm in on this one. Moritani is going up to Arrakis. He'll get his Signet Ring ability. He can spend a spice to go up on the track. He will. And then he's going to immediately cash in on, I think that's everything that he cashes in on. Everything on the track. Recall, you collect, and each space below it. Okay, yeah. So he will gain 2 more troops. Unfortunately, he can go in on the conflict. So he will also go up with the he'll go up with the Spacing Guild. Going up to 6 victory points. He wants to try to trigger the end of the game here. And he will take the 2 spice. I'm pretty sure that's how they do that. Let's see, the shipping track. It always chooses dividends, not spice, so it'll gain... Battles in a solo game, gain 1 Solari from dividends. Okay, so he will take 5 Solari. Actually, what he's going to do is he's going to spend the 7 Solari, so I'm just going to shortcut that. 1 and 1, he'll gain another victory point up to 7. He will deploy everything into the conflict, so he's at 7 strength as well. That's over to Richese, who it does have 2 influence with the spice, with the interstellar space, with the Spacing Guild. So he'll go up to interstellar shipping, which will immediately advance him up 2, and he'll immediately cash in. 2 troops in his garrison. Those can't go in the conflict, though. He will go up with the Bene Gesserit, trying to gain victory points, and he will choose dividends. He does not have enough to spend for another victory point. So 1 for each of us, 5 for him. back over to me, which will be... I don't really want to go up to smuggling right now. 2, 4, 6, 7. That's how much Solari I've got right now. Let's go to... what do I want to do here? Do I just go harvest some spice? That might be a thing I do. Let's go to Dune the Desert Planet. I'm going to go to Imperial Basin, which will give me the spice, and I'll draw a card. So I'm not completely happy with that, but nothing I can do there. As for Moritani, he's going to Hardy Warriors. So he's going up with the Fremen, which will give him another victory point. So he's up to 8, and 2 more troops, both of which are going into the conflict. So he's up to 11. Then for Richese, looking to harvest spice, going for total spice. If no spaces have bonus spice, reveal another card. So we actually reveal another card. Trying to go to Arrakis, it's blocked off. Conspire is not blocked off. So he moves up there. Then I've got a reveal turn. So I've got a total of 7 influence. And I can put cards I acquire on top of my deck. So I think that will be... Let's see. Get 1 spice plus the bonus that were there. Except I get 1 less... Except my special ability with my character, Jester, is Ariana Thorvald. I have a Spice Addict. Whenever I harvest spice, I gain 1 spice less and draw a card. So that's my special ability. So I'm basically shortcutting that by saying I'll just take the bonus spice and draw a card. Then I've got the Ixian Engineer, but I only have 2 tech tiles right now, so I can't trash him for a victory point. 7 influence, though, but I do get to put cards I acquire on top of my deck because of my spaceport. Let's go with a Spice Trader to the top of my deck. And flipping over a new card, that's a Scout. Can deploy to blue or yellow. An influence and a persuasion, retreat up to 2 of my troops. I'm also going to take a Bene Gesserit Initiate for 3, also to the top of my deck. And reveal Opulence with the Emperor for 6. Can use them to deploy to Emperor spaces. Gain 3 Solari. 1 influence, and we can spend 6 Solari to gain a victory point. Okay. So we're revealing cards for the conflict. First we've got Hundro, who's revealing 4 swords. I'm not sorry to see that. Let's see what yellow gets. Yellow gets 1. So blue will win the conflict, a victory point, and control of Carthage. So now when anybody goes there, they've got to give him a Solari. I get an intrigue card and a spice. My intrigue card is garbage and a spice. And yellow gets shut out. So now we go to the maker phase. Blue is dangerously close to triggering the end of the game, just running away with this one. Recalling agents. And actually, blue is the first player of this one. Is the first player for this round. Yep. As I managed to send a blue cube flying. There we are. Then we've got the yellow troops. And then we've got the yellow agents, I should say. Our next conflict, we're into stage 3. 2 victory points in control of Carthage. Second place is an intrigue and a spice. Blue, like I said, is in position to win the game. Those 2 victory points would do it for him. I'll draw my cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I don't completely hate this. But I think this is a conflict I've definitely got to find a way into. He's looking to harvest spice, so moving over to the Great Flat. Gains 4 spice. I'll take these 2 singles and trade them in for a 5. Getting my top 100 list done. I've got to start working on it. Will it be here in a few weeks? This game's been a top 5 game for the last couple of years. I wouldn't expect that to change. I'm still really enjoying this. Let's see. Richese is going to Carthag. That will give blue a Solari. And he can deploy into the... Actually, he gets a troop, which he can deploy into the conflict, and he will. I think we both have the same objective here. Make sure blue doesn't win the game. What to do, what to do. Well, I don't have any way to go up with the Emperor, which is unfortunate, but there's nothing I can do there. I can use my Signet Ring, though. I'll use that to deploy up to Siege Tabor. That'll actually net giving me 2 water, because my Signet Ring ability is Hidden Reservoir. That'll give me a water. I'll get a troop, and I will get in on this conflict. That'll bring me up to 5 strength in the conflict. I also forgot to gain my 2 Solari for start of the round, thanks to my shuttle fleet. Actually, let's do this. I'll take these 3. Put those in and take a 5. We'll do it that way. Okay, so looking at Moritani, he's going to fold space. So if he's able to get that alliance token, this game is probably over. Going up for a Dreadnought. So he goes up there. He gets his Dreadnought, which he can't deploy into the conflict, but he will trash a tech tile. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5, he'll trash the one from the topmost. Okay, back over to me. I think we'll use Reconnaissance to go up to Arrakis. That'll give me a troop that'll immediately go into the conflict. And I will draw a card. Okay, I think we're probably going to need all the swords we can get our hands on here. As for Moritani, he's looking to harvest spice. That'll be back here, so he'll get 3 spice. Actually, he'll just keep the 1 spice, spend 5 to gain a 10th victory point. So the end of the game is going to be triggered, assuming he's still at 10 victory points, which he probably will be. As for Richese, looking to go to interstellar shipping, which he has enough influence to do that. So he'll go up 2 and immediately cash in, gaining 2 troops and up with the Fremen. And he also gains dividends. So he will gain. So he'd end up with. He's gonna end up at 4 Solari, and he'll spend the 7 to get another victory point. So 4, and I'll get 1 each for me and Moritani. So he's up to 6 victory points. Blue is super strong at this game. Not much I could do about it. Well, we'll play it out, but I'm pretty sure nothing's going to change here. Right. Let's see. What can I do here? There's not really much I can do at this point. So I think I'm mostly just going to go for... do I even want to bother with Spite at this point? Not really, to be perfectly honest. Let's use... Even using the Bene Gesserit Initiate here to deploy really isn't going to do much, because even if I draw a card, unless I use it to go get the Mentat, really, what's the Mentat even going to do for me at this point? Not much he can do. Yeah, we'll just... Yeah, I can't even really blindside. I can't even really surprise him at this point. So I think we just use Peter DeVries to go up to the research station. We'll pay 2 water to draw 3 cards. Mostly in the hope of getting more swords or something to 1-2. Now we get the diplomacy. So 3. But yeah. Okay, so we're going to just put everything out. We don't have the alliance with the Spacing Guild. 2 influence, 3, 4, and 3 more swords. So we've got a total of 4 persuasion, which will be the... I guess it'll be the scout. Thufir Hawat, but we can't acquire him, and the local fence. Weirding Way coming out. Okay, flipping over cards. First for blue, gaining no swords. That's something, I guess. Neither does yellow, so I actually win the conflict. That'll put me up to 2 victory points, and it would give me control of Carthag for all the good that's going to do me. That will give yellow an intrigue card, which he'd spend another one. Which he'd spend the 3 to go up 3 victory points, to go up another victory point, and gain another 3 spice. But of course, well, in the Maker phase, I'm doing this by the book. So the Maker phase happens, the Imperial Basin gets a bonus spice, and then we check for endgame. Blue is at 10 victory points. So the game is over, and Viscount Hundro Moritani has won this game. And that'll do it for this playthrough of Dune Imperium. Another fun game, and in theory, it's got catch-up mechanics to it. Blue just ran away with this one. There really wasn't much I could do about this one. So, yeah, nothing against Dune Imperium, far from it. This is not a case where the salt kind of influenced me, but I definitely want to take a dinner break here pretty soon. So, we're going to call it a video here, and we'll wrap it up. There probably will be one more game coming later tonight after my dinner break. I've got to decide what that's going to be, though. So stay tuned to the channel to see what I get up to tonight. And I'm probably going to leave Rise of Ix permanently shuffled in, because I feel like the Dreadnoughts just add a lot to the game. Plus, it's easy enough to separate them out if I really want to shuffle them out anyway. But I'm rambling, so I'm going to wrap this video up. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well. Stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone.